Hey everybody, and welcome back to UE5 BP Guru. Today we're going to be looking at setting up some menus that will pop up here, ready for our skill tree integration, which has been requested, and we were going to do anyway for the project. So we're going to look at that in the next episode, but let's just get the menu set up. Now, I just want to say I did set up a main menu button that was set up to the escape button, but for anyone who's tested their game, when you click escape it cancels out the game. So I'm going to change this to L, the L key for now, just until all the testing's done, and we can then put it back to the escape button. So we've changed that for now, that's fine. The next thing we want to do is, we do want to open up our third person character, so make sure you do that if you're already in this area, saves you going back. I'm going to set up a new folder called Menu Widgets, and this is just going to be for any menus we want to add into the game down the line. We're going to start, of course, though, with a main menu. So you use a widget, main menu widget, and open her up. Now, to begin with, I'm just going to get a very basic canvas panel, drag her out. Then we want to get an image, stick it up in the top right. Now, I'm not going to get too precise with this, of course, but I will try to make it somewhat how I actually do kind of want it. I'm going to make it slightly bigger than that. That looks good to me. Then we want to set the color and opacity. We want to set this to black, and I'm going to set this to 0.75, just to give it a very slight opacity. And then I'm going to anchor this to the top right. Now, for the moment, the only thing I really want to set up at this point is a close button. So let's get a button like so, drag it out, and we'll make this of equal size, so 100 and 100 should be, it's quite big for a close button, but it's okay for now. Actually, let's do this to, no, wrong way. Let's do this to 200, 100 actually, and we'll, I think that's actually probably too big for a button. Yeah, I think that's good. And then 200 is fine for the length. Okay, next thing I want to do is I'm going to copy and paste that button, by the way, and I'm going to drag that in just above for now. Now we're going to add loads of stuff. So like, you want save game, load game, you might want quit game or return to game. You might want like a collection menu, skill tree, all sorts of stuff. You could have a bunch of things in here, and the design is completely up to you. This is just something very basic that I can use for this tutorial. I will obviously be changing mine down the line. So I'm gonna add in a text to both of them. I'm gonna set those texts to black, so they show up a little bit better, and I'm going to do that for both of them, just so it offsets against the button. And then I'm going to set the text of this one to skill tree. I'm also going to name the button skill tree, like so. And for this one, I'm just going to call this close. Oh, I did that wrong. Oh gosh, what am I doing? Click on this one. Click on the actual text and call this close. And just so I know, I'm going to call this close menu. Okay. Compile. Go into the graph, and we want to remove all of those. We want to click on the close menu and click on clicked. We also want to get the skill tree and click on clicked. I'm going to reorganize them into the actual the order of the buttons. And for now, we're good to go. Oh, actually, there's one thing I want to do. I've anchored this to the right side. I want to anchor the buttons to bottom right. The reason for this is that I don't want them to move around when the game starts. So that should be good. Let's go into our third person character for a second. Now, I want to get that main menu event we've created. And on pressed, I want to create widget, like so. I want to set this to main menu widget, and I want to add to viewport, like so. And then I want to set game mode set game mode set UI only, and I want to get player controller, and I want the widget to be the main menu widget. And the last thing I want to do is show cursor. Whether it might not be, might have to uncheck the context sensitive. Show mouse cursor or set mouse cursor to true, and that will also be the player controller that plugs into that as well. So that should be good. Let's give it a try, make sure it actually appears. Let's press play, and then we'll press L. We can't move around in the game anymore, but we can select our options. Now we obviously can't unclick with L. That's because we haven't set up the other side of the function. Now most of this we can probably copy, but let's set remove no, I don't want to do that. I want to let's remove all widgets. I actually might want to do that as well on here, so it removes the player HUD, thinking about it. And then we want to copy and paste this over here, plug her in. And for this one, we just want to call it player HUD. And we want to set the game mode back to game. Set game mode. Set input mode game only. And plug in our player controller to that. We might also want to plug the owner of that in as well, and probably into this one too, thinking about it, because I think the reason we'd want to do that, and I could be wrong because I haven't really tested it, is that it only sets the player HUD and that in for our player. More of an importance for a multiplayer game, I would presume, but probably still important nonetheless. So let's just test that that's working. So press play, L, game mode goes to this, press L. We can't actually undo it, but we can close it from here. I wonder why that is. Graph. Huh. Why did that do that? There's literally no real reason why that would do that. Oh, I honestly can't think of a reason why that closed so easily without any code. Would it do it if I clicked oh, press play. Oh, it closed it on skill tree too. Weird. Maybe it's just because there's nothing set up in here, I guess. Okay, weird. Very, very strange. So the reason this doesn't work, and I kind of assumed it wouldn't work, is because firstly, I would have wanted to do that anyway. I think the main reason is because this is set to UI mode only, so I get the feeling with it set like that, it's not going to actually go back to, it's not going to actually go back to how it should do, right? Now this should actually close the menu correctly, because we can actually click that button, because we're set into UI mode, so we can actually tackle our UI. It does it anyway for some reason, I'm not really sure why, but that's fine. It is working, I guess. I don't really know why it's working with the skill tree, but that's fine. There's literally no reason for it to do that, but I'm just gonna kind of go with it. Now if I didn't have that set input mode to UI only, you'd be able to look around as the player. So if I take it away, it's not going to matter if I put it back in now, but you can leave yours in. Just press play, click on L, and I can still move around. Now I can't close the skill tree anymore, which is very strange, but I can with the other buttons. So I don't really know. I'm guessing it was the UI mode was doing that for some reason. I'm not really too sure why, but yeah, so we can actually look around. You can keep it like this if you want to. Have your player actually move around with the menu. I don't really know many games that ever do that. There's probably there was one Switch game that allowed you the game to keep moving on while the character was in the menus, and that was iZombie. It was a very old zombie game. It wasn't the best, but yeah, you could still, the game was still playing even though you were using a pause menu. And now what we need to do in the next episode, when we set up our skill tree, is put in here, remove all widgets, create the playhead, and have the skill tree menu come up instead. And we would basically just do all the same stuff, but just not have the set mode to game mode only. And we would still show the mouse cursor. You wouldn't even need that, to be honest, because it would just stay the same. The only thing you need to remember is that when you've got the skill tree menu open is that you set up a close menu, otherwise you'll never be able to close it. But yeah, so that's kind of all we need to do for the main menu at this point. Is just making sure that we can actually open it and close it. And it's quite simple really to do. And it gets your game kind of feeling a little bit more complete, having just a menu to go by. But in the next episode, that's all the setup we needed to do ready for the skill tree episodes. We've got a main menu now we can kind of go into and navigate down to the skill tree menu. But I want to do all the design work in the next episode. But I just thought I'd do this quick, simple one just to show you how to get kind of things going with a menu. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. Hopefully this was useful to you guys, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye.